Okay. Hi everyone, welcome to the live. Alright, oh my god, nothing is together today. We ended up starting the live so late because of tech difficulties. And as you guys can see, it's like I have teacher Mitsuko behind me. Where is Yahweh? I have no idea. Actually have no idea. I think Yahweh will be moderating the live later. So I will let you know when Yahweh is here. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Rab-a-ducky, Rab-a-ducky, you're the one. Yeah. And then we have teacher Mitsuko here. See, we have the massive Writers at Work screen right behind me right now. And I have the two capybaras here. They're just not very visible. I don't know. You guys can't see them, right? Wait, let me just... Can you see, like, Mochi? Is that Mochi? That's Mochi. And wait, let me move Matcha. Alright. 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 Let's begin. Okay, today, let's do some grammar. Let's do... Where's Matcha? Matcha is here. Not very visible, but Matcha is here. Alright. Alright. Oh, I just saw the rubber-ducky you guys were talking about. Never mind. Okay, oh goodness. Just realized I can turn this around. Alright. Alright, let's begin. Okay, let's wait. Actually, let's wait for a few more people to join before we start going through the questions. But how is everyone doing? Also, how are you doing? How are you doing? I'm gonna put on a jacket. There will never be a single person that comes into like this live room and you see them like in short sleeves. It's just not possible. It is so cold. Alright. Alright. I see a few more people joining. Alright. Yeah, let's begin. Alright. Date finish the project. Blank day. Alright. So first things first. When it comes to this, right? Let's take a look, okay? Let's break this down. Does anyone know what the answer for question 20 might be? Question 20. Hi, Wani. Welcome. Oh, you guys can't hear me. Oh, okay. Can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? All right. Anyways, what is the answer to question 20? Okay, we will begin right now. Okay, we will start going through the questions now. Does anyone know what the answer to question 20 is? Okay, does anyone know? Okay. Ooh, actually we forgot question 18. Never mind. Let's do question 18 first. Okay, if Sarah blanked her homework earlier, she would not have been scolded. All right. What might the answer be? What might the answer be? All right, let's go through it real quick. Okay. If Sarah blanked her homework. All right. Now, first things first. Earlier, it shows that it is in the past, and this is a conditional, so it really does give us the idea that this is all happening in the past. All right. Conditional. Okay. She would not have been scolded. All right. Okay. So I would say this is a little easier since we're doing this in grammar instead of doing this in S&T. S&T's conditional is just kind of painful. Even I think so. All right. Okay, so now thank you so much for sharing the live. Is it people up? People up. All right. But yes, okay. So first things first, okay, if this is a conditional, we will be following this format. We will be following the if plus had plus past participle format. Okay, this is the format that we will be following. Okay. This is the format that we will be following. All right. Okay, this is the format that we will be following. Okay, so what we see over here, okay, what we're gonna do is let's take a look at the options. Okay, had done. Okay, had done does match that. Okay, it is the had plus past participle. Hi, Jer. You are Aizen. You're Aizen. Hi. How are you today, Aizen? How are you today? How are you today? Yeah, you're Aizen. I know. I remember. You're using your mom's phone. Fine. What are your plans for the rest of the school holidays? How long do you guys have before June holidays? And again, remind me. Somebody told me like quite a while back, but like how long do you guys have? Like half a month? Do you guys start again in July? Actually, not quite sure. All right. All right. Okay. She would not have been scolded. Okay, so what we are doing here again is breaking this down. Okay, so did, okay, did is simple past. All right, simple past. All right, so we have does as well. Does is present tense, and we have was doing. Was doing is continuous. All right, so off the bat, I can say that, okay, continuous is not correct, okay, because we're looking at a conditional, we're looking at something in the past, all right, so it is not continuous, all right, and then we have does, okay, which is present tense, which is clearly not the answer, and then we have did simple past, okay, again, it does not fit the format of if, had, plus past participle, okay, so one is correct, okay, because it has had done, okay, past participle, and we already have the if here, so it fits the conditional structure, okay, so it is one. Okay, then we have question 19 next. Does anyone know what the answer of question 19 might be? Question 19. Does anyone know what the answer of question 19? What is the answer of question 19? All right, let's wait for some answers. All right, you guys can guess. All right. I think I have gone through this question before, so it should be fairly manageable. All right. Okay, I'll give you guys another 3 seconds. 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. All right, let's take a look. Okay, now tree. I don't say tree. All right, let's take a look. All right. Now, first things first. Sheet, not sheeted. Sorry, sheet. The breakdown of sheet is she had, right? Okay, so when it comes to she had, right? Okay, so the structure, the main structure that we're looking at is this. All right, let me write it down. All right, thank you so much for liking the live, everyone. All right, it is has, hasn't, had, hadn't. Hi, Papa Black Sheep. Hadn't, is, isn't, are, aren't, did, didn't, does, doesn't. All right, and there's one exception. I'm going to write an orange, which is am, aren't. All right, I am the champion, aren't I? All right. Okay, so that is how we can go about this. Okay. Hi, Janelle. Oh, hi, can you see me? Yes, I can. Thank you so much for liking the live. All right, let's take a look at this. All right, so, okay, let's see this. Okay, okay, so has firstly is not correct because it is a positive tag. We are looking for a negative tag. Okay, so this is a positive tag, so it's not correct. Okay, and then we have had. Had is not correct because it is a positive tag. And we have hasn't. Hasn't is also incorrect because unfortunately it is the wrong verb. It is the wrong verb. Okay, so over here we are looking for, okay, we have had, okay. Hadn't is correct. Okay, unfortunately, hadn't is correct, all right? Because we are saying hadn't. It is the negative tag for had. Okay, Eisen says the next question is 2. All right, let's see. They finished their project, hasn't they? All right. Okay, now Eisen, wait, take a look at question 19 again, okay? Now, had date is the same as sheet, okay? In the sense that date is the same as they had, all right? They had finished the project, okay? Now, look at this list that we have over here. This list that we have over here. Had the negative tag of had is hadn't, all right? So hasn't is the negative tag for has, all right? So hasn't it is actually the wrong negative tag, right? Had is incorrect because it is a positive tag, and in this case, hasn't, hadn't is correct. Okay, I'm gonna write down 3 is correct actually because hadn't is the correct negative tag. Okay, 14 is also incorrect. Okay, not 14, 4. Okay, because we're repeating the day over here, so it's a bit of a trick. Okay, so it is incorrect. All right. Eisen, does that make sense? Does that make sense? All right, now let's take a look. Okay. Yes, great, great, great. Okay, great job. Okay, question 21. All right, 21. Oh, what happened? Question 21. Cute ducky. I know, it is super cute. And I like that it keeps bouncing around the screen. But I have to like, because I'm actually watching the live as well from my phone, so I can kind of see what you guys are saying. But at the same time, I see the ducky and I'm just like, it's so easy to get distracted. Okay, what might the answer be? Question 21. All right, what might the answer be? What might the answer be? 2. Okay, either the twins or their older brother blank going to represent the school at the competition. All right, now, okay, is there any other answers? Okay, let's see if there are any other answers. Okay. Okay, now, first things first, with either or, this is an either or question. Okay, with either or, you will the verb will agree with the subject closer to it. All right, so older brother is closer to this. Okay, so older brother is singular. Okay, is singular. All right, so now let's take a look. Are is plural. Is singular. Were is plural. And past. All right, this is present. And this is present. Have is present, right? No, actually, just in general, have is the wrong verb. So I'm going to cancel out 4. Okay, now the thing is over here at the competition, okay, so over here, what we're going to do is that they are going to, so it is not yet happened. So it's definitely not past. All right, so I'm going to cancel out were, okay, leaving is and are. Okay, so actually, let's look. Plural is not correct because we're looking at this subject, singular, because remember, okay, either or, the verb agrees with the subject closer to it. All right, cancel out 1, and the answer is 2. Okay, great job, Aizen. Great job for getting this correct. All right. All right, let's see question 22. All right, what might the answer be? Okay, what might the answer be? Is it just a very quiet day today? I feel like there is no one here. Is it just a very quiet day? Is that it? Is that it? Is it just a very quiet day? Why is it so quiet today? All right. All right. Okay, let's see. Question 22. Neither the principal nor the teachers blank available for the meeting this afternoon. Okay, what might the answer be? Okay, let's take a look. Okay. Okay, now, meeting this afternoon. Okay, now first things first, when it comes to neither nor, it's the same as either or. Okay, the verb agrees with the subject closest to it, and in this case, it is teachers. Okay, now that the verb is closest to the subject, teachers, okay, what we're going to do is, we're going to write down plural. Okay, teachers with an S. All right, so let's end this afternoon, not happened yet. All right, is, okay, let's take a look. Is singular. And it is present. Are, okay, are is plural. And present. Was, okay, is past tense. And singular. And be, it is just not the correct verb. All right, it is not the correct verb. All right, so let's see. Okay, let's see. Now, when it comes to singular, present, okay, it doesn't make sense over here because we're looking for something plural. I'm going to cancel it. Okay, are makes sense, but let's see if there are any better answers. Okay, Was, okay, was, we're looking for past tense here, which is not correct because this is not something that has happened yet. Okay, so I'm going to cancel out was. B is just not correct, so I'm canceling out B, leaving R as the answer. All right, R is the answer. Okay, now question 23. The committee blank agreed to the new rules unanimously. Okay, 1 is have, 2 is has, 3 is are, 4 is were. What might the answer be? What might the answer be? All right, now let's take a look, okay? Now let's take a look, okay? When over here, the main subject is the committee, all right? The committee is a collective noun, okay? So we're talking about a singular group here. Okay, singular, okay? So what we are looking at, okay, let's take a look, okay? Now, have. Have is plural. Has is singular. Are is present tense and plural. Were is past tense and plural. Okay, now first things first, we're looking for something singular, so all this are incorrect because they're all plural, leaving has as the answer. All right, does anyone have any answers for 24? Each of the students blank responsible for completing the project. 1 is are, 2 is have, 3 is, and 4 is were. What might the answer be? What might the answer be? All right. Each of the students blank responsible for completing that project. 1 is are, 2 is have, 3 is, 4 is were. Hi, Xiaomogu. Okay, is 3? Okay, let's take a look. All right. Now let's take a look. Okay, each of the students. Okay. Now, because there is a word each of, while students is plural, we are talking about individual of these students. So based on this entire bracket is actually referring to a singular subject. Okay, when it comes to singular subject, okay, let's take a look. Responsible for completing the project. Okay, now, okay, let's take a look. Okay, are is plural. Have, okay, is plural. Is singular, and were is plural. All right, so it is incorrect. All of these are plural, leaving number 3 as the answer. Great job, Xiaomogu. All right. Neither of the boys blanked the answer to the question. What is question 25? Question 25. What might the answer be? Okay. What might the answer be? Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining the live, all right? What might the answer be for question 25? What might the answer be? Okay, I'm going to count down from 3, count down from 2, and count down from 1, all right? Now, again, with neither, okay? Okay, with neither, neither is singular. Okay, neither is considered singular. Okay, so now that we're using the word a singular term, okay? Oh, Shamogu says one, all right? Okay, since neither is singular, let's look at everything else, all right? No is no is plural, knows is knowing. Okay, this is not the correct verb form. Known is past participle, which is not correct over here. All right, now let's take a look first. All right, first things first, neither is singular. All right, neither is singular. Neither of the boys. All right, this is a trick question. This is a trick question. Students always get this question wrong. All right, neither of the boys blank the answer to the questions. Okay, no is plural, so unfortunately it is not the answer. All right, we're looking for something singular. Okay, neither. We're talking about that maybe we have two boys and individually this is not the case and this is also not. All right, so over here we have singular. All right, knows is singular. It seems to be correct. Let's see 3 and 4, not correct due to verb form cancel, past participle, not what we're looking for. Okay, so I'm canceling, leaving number 2 as the answer. Okay, so if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask me, but in this case, unfortunately, 2 is the answer. All right, so now I see a lot of new people joining, so I will take this time to highlight this. Okay, so these sets of questions are actually very similar to the questions that we have in our ebook. Okay, now that PSLE is becoming closer and closer, we barely have a few months away. Okay, and we are even closer to prelims. Okay, we are now putting this book up. All right, this is the 1000 PSLE grammar MCQs practice. Okay, for those students who are feeling a bit behind, who are struggling a lot with their PSLE MCQ and grammar, okay, this is great for students. All right, this is great for those students, especially those that prefer targeted practice. Okay, now I always share with you guys this story that when I was in PSLE, my mom had to sit by the laptop and she had to dig out all the questions of a topic that I would speak at. So maybe I'll be poor at synthesis and transformation, and she would separate all the questions by herself, okay, and that she would spend a lot of time and she would print them out, okay. But then now, parents, you don't have to do this anymore, okay. This ebook is here. It is 1000 PSLE grammar MCQ practice, okay. These are all popular top school questions, all right. These are all popular top school questions. So if you are or have been considering, just sitting at your laptops, separating the questions according to what your child is weak in, you don't have to anymore, because over here we have it done for you. And we have also decided to help students and taken out questions that are more likely to come out. Okay, these are popular top school questions that are more popular in top schools. Okay, so we are putting them all here for you. Okay, I will show you guys in a bit how to navigate from our TikTok live, which is here, to our Linktree account. Okay, from our Linktree account you can then go to where our ebook page is. Okay, then you will be able to get it. Okay, but for those who are interested in searching it up themselves, okay, you can search up Writers at Work ebook store and you should be able to get there. All right, Hostia, still no Japan. I am mentally there. I am, with all my heart, I am mentally there. All right, it is I see everyone traveling, and it's not FOMO. It's not FOMO. I just want to travel as well. Okay, but I have been thinking of, I don't know, I've been thinking of traveling as well. Okay, I'm just thinking about what I should be doing, the itinerary and stuff. Okay, so still wondering. Davi, are you going to Davi? Is Davi? Are you going to Japan yourself? Right, let's see. Okay, we have more grammar questions for everyone. Okay, question 26. Question 26. Okay, let me know. Do you guys have any answers? Question 26. Question 26. All right, let me take a look. All right. If the children blanked earlier, they would have caught the bus. All right. So now let's take a look. Okay. Now, first things first, it is an if, it is a conditional. And again, with conditionals, oh, my handwriting. Again, with conditionals, we would be looking to follow this format. The if plus had, plus had plus past participle format. Okay, does that make sense to everyone? Okay. Now, okay. Tree? Okay. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, okay, let's take a look. Okay, so left is past tense. Leave, present tense. Had left is, let's see, had left is past participle plus, no, had plus. No. Where is the button on this? Oh, there we go. And leaves, which is, in this case, it is the wrong subject-verb agreement. So it is not correct automatically. All right, now let's look. If had past participle, past tense doesn't make sense over here. Present tense makes even less sense, leaving us with tree, which is had plus past participle, which is exactly what we want. Okay, so number 3 is correct. Great job, Xiaomugu. Great job. Okay, question 27. 27. What might the answer be? Okay, do you know there's a little trick in this question, a small little trick. A small little trick. Okay, please be careful. Question 27, small little trick. 1, okay, my cousins, along with their parents, blank, arriving at the airport tonight. Okay, now, along with their parents, we see these two things, meaning that this is extra information. Okay, so we ignore this for the verb. Okay, however, we have my cousins, it is plural. Okay, so my cousins is plural. Okay, arriving at the airport tonight, not happened yet. Okay, not happened yet. Okay, and let's see what we have. All right, so is a singular verb. Singular, or is plural. Was is past tense, and I forgot to write. Singular is present, past tense, and singular. And we have were, which is plural and past tense. All right, So my cousins, along with their parents, blank arriving at the airport tonight. Not happened yet, so we're canceling out all the past tense ones. Okay, now let's look at this. Okay, my cousins is plural, so we have to ignore the singular and accept are. Okay, Xiaomogo, I think you made a small mistake. Okay, technically it would be correct if you wrote my cousin along with their parents, then it would be correct. Maybe you didn't see the S here, right? But it is my cousins in the question. Okay, that's why it is plural. Okay, does that make sense? Does that make sense? All right, please tell me if you don't understand anything, okay? I'll be happy to go through with you guys, all right? So we have question 28. The twins who blank identical love to dress in matching clothes. Okay, now, what might the answer be? What might the answer be? Let me know what might the answer be? Okay, let's go through. Okay, the twins who blank identical. Okay, now first things first. Okay, twins is plural. All right. Okay, now if we're talking about the set of twins, it might be different. All right, plural who blank identical. Okay, so we're talking about twins that are identical. All right, and love to dress in matching clothes. Okay, so this is still happening. All right, and then we have Hoshia. You keep saying you're mentally in Japan, but you should be physically in Japan. I want to too, but who's gonna go with me? Of course I know I could go myself, but like, that is true. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Don't know. Japan does sound fun though. You're putting me in a dilemma. Me? You? Should I bring you to Japan? Japan. Is Japan further than Korea? I don't know. I'm terrible at geography. Okay. Let's not make me sound foolish. Let's use the word foolish, all right? I was not a geography student, all right? All right, the twins, okay, plural. Okay, now first things first, we are going with is present, and it is singular. Are is plural. No. Are is present and plural. Was is past, singular. Has is just not correct. Okay, it is not the right. Even though I only know you from life, you're really nice. Oh, thank you so much, Davi. Thank you so much. That means so much to me. That really means so much to me. Thank you. Not the right verb. All right, not the right verb. Okay, so I'm just gonna cancel out 4. All right, is, are, and was. Okay, so first things first, we are looking for something that's still happening. So past is automatically not correct. All right. Okay, so we have is and are over here. Okay, first things first, when it comes to this, we're talking about something that's plural, so I'm canceling out singular. Okay, leaving 2 as the answer. All right, twins who are identical love to dress in matching clothes. Okay, so this is, even though that this is extra information. Okay, extra information in this case when the blank is within the extra information, we are actually talking about the subject before it. My annotations, oh my god. Okay, so this extra information pertains to the twins, which is the subject. I just came back from Brisbane, but I'm going to Genting Highlands. And wow, that sounds so fun. That sounds so fun. That sounds so fun. Wishing that you have the most amount of fun possible. All right. Wait, you just come, wait, how long ago were you in Brisbane? How long ago were you in Brisbane? But that is so cool. That is so cool. All right. If I blank taller, I could join the basketball team. True. If I were taller, I would have joined the netball team in school back then. Brisbane. Everyone's going to Brisbane. Will you shop in Brisbane? Will you shop? There's a lot of shopping in Brisbane, right? All right. If I blank taller, I could join the basketball team. All right. Now. Aw, that's so nice, Davy. That's so nice. All right, but I don't think you'll be seeing me in Genting Highlands anytime soon. I don't think anytime soon. But it must be nice to have like that super long break. But unfortunately, when you start working, you don't have the same amount of like holidays at school. It's just not the same. It's just not the same. So it is different in SG. In SG, okay, in SG is small, so the chances are a lot higher. Two, okay. Xiaomogu is like, just do the questions, just do the questions. All right, I can imagine that already. All right. Okay, now in this is an imaginary situation. It's a conditional situation. Okay, so if I, okay, we, okay, oh, I'm not circle this right. Okay, and since we're using I, okay, we always remember it's a rule. It's a rule, okay? It's a rule. If I were is a rule, okay? So the answer is actually three. If I was taller, okay? Actually, we don't use was in imaginary situations. Imaginary situation is if I were. Okay? So if I were taller, I could join the basketball team. Okay? That I would love to too. But I'm now terrible in sports. If any of you guys can give me a suggestion for a sport, a cardio sport that is not running, not jogging, I'll be so thankful. All right? Even if it's basketball, I'm willing. Just not running or jogging. Just not those two. Hi, Mianbao. Mianbao is here. Hi. But yes, please give me some, what do you call that? Suggestions. Because what is the little rubber ducky doing at the side? That is so funny. Because yes, I really need to start working out, but I cannot for the life of me think of cardio sports that is not running or basketball, sure, but it's just a bit. I would need like friends to play with, you know. Okay, James Blank, who Blank, known for his punctuality, was surprisingly late today. Okay, now first things first. Okay, the blank is in the extra information section. Okay, so we know that it is talking about James, and James is the subject. Okay, now James is one person. It is singular. Okay, the word is singular. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, let's break this down. Is, okay, is singular. and present. Okay, are is plural and present. B, okay, B is just not correct here. It just grammatically incorrect. Grammatically incorrect here. And then we have has. Okay, has is incorrect here as well. Okay, so it just does not fit. Okay, and then we have surprisingly late today. Okay, so we know that it is the present. All right, so I'm gonna cancel out those that are grammatically incorrect, those that does not fit, and the plural one, because we're talking about something singular. Okay, leaving the answer as is. All right, the answer as is. James, who is known for his punctuality, was surprisingly late today. Okay, let's see. All right, let's see. Whew. So many ebooks. Whew. Okay, let's take a look at, let's do some vocab. Let's do some vocab. Why is it not clicking? Let me see, 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 let me see. Okay, question 24. Let's do question 24. Let's do question 24. Okay, let's do question 24. All right, let's see. After finishing the marathon, James was so blind that he could barely stand. All right, so let's take a look. Okay, what do you guys think the answer might be? Xiaomongu says 2. All right, let's take a look. Okay, now let's look at it one by one. Okay, after finishing the marathon, he was so blind that he could barely stand. Okay, embarrassed. Embarrassed means to be shy or ashamed. Okay, exhausted means to be extremely tired. Energetic means the opposite of tired. Relaxed means calm. All right, now, first things first. Okay, after finishing a marathon, I don't think you'll be shy or ashamed so much so that you could barely stand. It doesn't make sense. Okay, I'm canceling out 1. Okay, and then we have exhausted. So you can be so tired that you can barely stand. So I'm going to keep 2 first and see if there's an even better option. Okay, 3 is energetic. It is the opposite of tired. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Why would you barely stand if you're so energetic? So calm, that doesn't make sense either, making number 2 the answer. Good job, Xiaomogu. You are getting better at this. All right, let's see. Question 25. All right. The student's idea to reduce food waste was blank and impress even the strictest teacher. What might the answer be? We have 1, foolish, 2, ordinary, 3, innovative, 4, repetitive, right? What might the answer be? What might the answer be? Tree? Okay, tree. Okay. The student's idea to reduce food waste was blank and impressed even the strictest teacher. Okay, first things first, okay, it has impressed, okay, so it must be something positive. Okay, let's see. Foolish, okay, foolish means silly or unwise. I'm just going to cross this out directly because it is something negative and we're talking about something positive here, so it doesn't really make sense, right? And then we have ordinary, which means common, okay? So it kind of contradicts the idea of very impressive, okay, because the teachers were impressed, okay, so I'm going to cancel ordinary as well. Innovative, okay, innovative, which means new, very creative, right? Okay, which makes sense, so let's leave it first, okay. Repetitive, which means done many times. Okay, so it doesn't really bring the idea of why the teachers would be impressed. It was repetitive, they wouldn't be impressed, they would be bored if anything, right? So I'm going to cancel out number 4, leaving number 3 as the answer. Great job, Xiaomogu, great job. All right, question 26. Okay, what might the answer be? Let's see what the answer might be for question 26. Okay, question 26. Does anyone have any answers? Okay, does anyone have any answers? Okay, so while we are waiting for some answers, okay, this that we're currently doing right now, these questions are all very similar, if not, oh, still 3, all right? It is the same as the questions in the book of the 1000 vocab questions, okay? So for those who are looking for the extra practice, this is a great option for you, all right? Okay, the student stood in blank as the magician pulled the rabbit out of his hat. Okay, now first things first, okay, magician pulled the rabbit out of his hat. You assume that they find it very cool, right? Okay, so it'll be something positive. All right, so let's look at this. All right, boredom. All right, boredom, which is, oh, just bored. All right, bored, not interested. Silence. Okay, silence. Okay, quiet. Amazement, which is just surprise or wonder. And then we have confusion, which is just confused. Something doesn't make sense. All right, now let's weigh all of our options. All right, the children stood in blank as the magician pulled the rabbit out of his hat. Okay, now when it comes to this, right, boredom doesn't really make sense, okay, because this is something that is so weird. How is someone able to pull a rabbit out of his hat? It doesn't make sense that students are bored, so I'm canceling it. Silence, okay, that doesn't really fit, okay. Confusion, amazement, okay, amazement could be a good answer. Let's see number 4. Confusion, where something doesn't make sense, okay, but confusion is a bit, it's not the same as amazement. Amazement, you can be surprised, something still doesn't make sense to you, but you look at it in a very positive and excited outlook, which is much more fitting, okay. Children are usually very amazed by magicians doing their magic tricks, okay. So I'm going to put 3 as the answer. Xiaomongu, you are correct. Great job. All right, great job. Okay, let's look at question 27. Okay, last question for the day. I think one of the last questions for the day. Okay, what might the answer be for question 27? Thank you so much for liking the live, P. Hi, Ryan. What might the answer be? Hi. What might the answer be? What might the answer be? Okay. Hi, Javia. Javia says tree. What is Teacher Mitsuko doing? Teacher Mitsuko is doing her work. Teacher Mitsuko is doing her work. Wait, moderator. Is Teacher Mitsuko gonna be doing her a live after this?
No.
Teacher Yahweh?
Yes.
Oh, okay, it's Teacher Yahweh. Oh, behind me. Oh, it is an ad. It is an ad. Okay, now let's see. The villagers work together to blank the river banks after the storm to prevent flooding. Okay, now first things first, let's look at the words, all right? Decorate. Decorate, which means make pretty. Abandon, which is to leave behind. To strengthen, which means to make stronger. And destroy, which means to break or completely damage. All right, now, all right, now for this, all right, let's take a look. The storm to prevent flooding. Okay, so they are probably trying to do something to save the riverbanks, right? So in this case, decorate, make pretty doesn't really make sense. Why would you make the banks pretty to prevent flooding? Doesn't make sense. Okay, so I'm gonna cancel it. Okay, abandon, that's even more dangerous. I'm gonna cancel that as well. Strengthen could be a good answer. Let's see number 4. To break or completely damage. Why would they destroy it? Just to prevent flooding makes less sense. All right, leaving number 3 as the best answer. Great job to those who got this right. Great job, Xiaomogu. All right. Okay, it is actually 5:30. Okay, so we have Teacher Yahweh on next. Okay, so I will be stepping off the live. Okay, so Teacher Yahweh will be on next. Okay, I will see you guys soon. Okay, I will see you guys soon. All right, bye everyone.